Hey, family. When you're in the valley of indecision, have you ever had anybody yell at you to make up your mind? I didn't find it very helpful, did you? I didn't think so. I'm Patsy White, and I'm back with another 3-minute ministry to motivate your month. This new series that starts today is called Peace of Mind. But today, specifically, I'm going to ask you, do you have a made up mind? James chapter 1 verses 2 and 3 says, Brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Well, what we know is that God never, he's not the one who sends trials or tribulations or temptations, but he sends us the answers to them. What's important to remember is not that we like enjoy the pain of what we're going through, but that we enjoy knowing that on the other side of that is victory. Enduring is a practicum of life. You know, um, you can think of it as like you're in a trial, you're running the sprint, of trials to get through on the other side. And with the tribulation, it's like a marathon. But the key thing is in chapter 4, he says, verse 4, he says, But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Now, if I'm developing endurance, through the trials, through the sprints and through the marathons, when I'm remembering that the trying of my faith worketh patience, it means that I can remember that not only is there a bigger picture, but I don't need anything. I don't need something to give me immediate relief from what I'm going through. I don't need something like retail therapy to buy something to give me the pleasure of something. I have everything that I need because I'm remembering the bigger picture. And this is what James calls wisdom, because immediately after he says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let them ask of God, and God will give it liberally. But he also says, ask without doubting in your heart. Now, a little later, he says in verse 7, he says, let not the man, this is about who doubts, think that he shall receive anything from God. And he explains in verse 8 that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Double-minded is that person is not trusting God in order to answer the question. Not only not trusting God to give the wisdom he's asked for, but not trusting God to give the answer and solution that he needs. So here's the thing. It's not punishment when God says that person will not receive anything. It's like saying if I were a farmer and I decided to plant some soybeans, but then after I planted, I changed my mind to pull it up and plant corn. But then after that, I changed my mind and I plant soybeans. So what kind of harvest then am I going to get? Nothing. So here's the point. When we make up our minds, we're making up our minds to trust with wisdom the bigger picture that God has for us. And that bigger picture is that we are developing muscles of endurance and patience where we remember the promises of God. And so we can endure knowing that our needs are met, because even if they're not met at this very minute, they will be met in the future. And we have trust and faith in God for that and are no longer double-minded about it. So, do you have a made up mind? I pray that this has blessed you. And, we make the decision over and over and over to trust God. No condemnation. If you slip back into the flesh, just make a new decision in the spirit. God bless you and thanks for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow.